We turn now to the Yizkor Service on page 290. Adonai ma'adam v'tedaehu ben enosh v'tchashvehu adam lehevel dama yamav ketzelove baboker yatzit v'chalaf la'erev yimolel v'yavesh limnot yamenu ken hoda v'navi levav chochmah. Adonai, what are human beings that you take account of them, mortals that you care for them? Humans are as a breath. Their days like a passing shadow. In the morning they flourish anew, in the evening they shrivel and die. Teach us to count each day, that we may acquire a heart of wisdom. On this solemn day, we each make judgments about the quality of our life. We re-examine our deeds and relationships with our community and with others. We express our yearnings for a new year, a new beginning, a year during which we commit ourselves to work toward bringing health and peace to all. We long for a year when individually and communally we shall strive to live in a way that is more reflective of the ideals that we cherish. Now, in the midst of looking at our life and assessing its quality, we pause to reflect and to remember and to dedicate ourselves anew. Shiviti Adonai lenegdi tamin, ki mimini bal emod, lechen samach libi v'yagel kivodi, af besari shkon lavetach. The death of those we now remember left holes in our lives, but we are grateful for the gift of their lives, and we are strengthened by the blessings that they left us and the precious memories that comfort and sustain us as we recall them this day. Some of us recall parents who watched over us, nursed us, guided us, and sacrificed for us. Some of us lovingly call to mind a wife, husband, or partner with whom we were truly united in the hopes and our pains, in our failures and our achievements, in our joys and our sorrows. Some of us remember brothers and sisters who grew up together with us, sharing in the play of childhood, in the youthful adventure of discovering life's possibilities, bound to us by a heritage of family tradition and by years of togetherness and love. Some of us call to mind children entrusted to us too briefly, to whom we gave our loving care, and from whom we received a trust that enriched our lives. So many of us recall beloved relatives and friends whose affection and devotion enhanced our lives, and whose visible presence will never return to cheer, encourage, or support us. Though they are gone, we are grateful for the blessings they brought to our lives. We are sustained and comforted by the thought that their presence in our lives remains an enduring blessing that we can bequeath to others. We can show our devotion to them by our devotion to those ideas that they cherished. O God of love, make us worthy of the love we have received by teaching us to love you with all our heart and with all our soul and with all our might, and to spread the light of your divine love on all whose lives touch ours. Give us strength to live faithfully, for we are cheered by our confidence that you will not permit our lives to be wasted, but will bring our worthy strivings to live on, even as we may not see their fulfillment. The Beth Israel community remembers. From Barbara Jolovitz, Barnett Jolovitz, Sarah Jolovitz, Lester Jolovitz, Alan Jolovitz, Henry Jacobson, Gertrude Jacobson, Wilfred Sohn, Gertrude Sohn, Fred Goldbeck, Rose Rochelle, Carl Sohn, John Barlock. From Ida Joyce Levine, Louis Levine, Celia G. Levine, Dr. Dan Kamens. From Liz and Sid Geller, Mary and Harry Geller, Sophie and Frank Aroney, Goldie and Sam Blumenthal, Sophie and Louis Geller, Bessie and Isaac Aroney, Fanny and David Ansel, Polly and Harvey Ansel, Jeffrey Coleman, Sylvia and Alan Hoffman. From Sam Shapiro, Carol Shapiro, Edith and Jack Plavin, Anna and Mars Shapiro, Ethel Shapiro Rosenthal, Martin Plavin, and Amy Plavin. From Peter Beckerman, Marcia Shiro Beckerman, Linda Beckerman Lohman, Dr. Stanley Beckerman, Oren Shiro. From Toby Schneider, Jacob Schneider, Maybelle Schneider, Conrad Schneider, Rose Schneider, Estelle Schneider, Lillian and Sylvia Weiss. From Phyllis Shiro, we remember Bert Shiro. From Julie and Richard Searles, Daniel Searles, Isaac Abelis, Lily Abelis, Sandra Abelis Braun, Helen Brown. From the Ruff family, Beverly F. Gass, Samuel B. Gass, Esther Lippman, Stephen Gass. From Annie Levine, Michael S. Levine, Samson Fisher. From Judy Brody, Morton A. Brody, Louis L. Levine, and Celia Levine. From Sarah Arnon, William Levine, Sarah Levine, Theodore N. Levine, Frida Levine Miller, Ludi Levine, Pacey Levine, Evelyn Levine Gold, Howard Avery Miller, Giselle Barakel Miller, Dr. Dan Arnon, Dr. Jean Cohen, and Peter Alfond. From Jonathan McCoy and Britt Halverson, Philip Halverson, Adrian Cohn, Mark Vanderbosch. From Annie Fenton, Jill Rubinson, Harold Rubinson, Goldie and Samuel Rubinson, Fanny and Abe Lowenthal, Nathan Cernoff, Annabelle C., Juan Fahey. From the Salmon family, Edward Leslie Salmon. From Lawrence Bloom, Evelyn Green, Marty Bloom, William Cohen, Ida Bloom, Jacob Bloom, Julia Kaplan, Harold Axler. Again from Phyllis Shiro, Celia Shiro, Louis Shiro, Oren Shiro, Bert Shiro, Marcia Beckerman, Helen Green, Lois Weinberg, Sidney Weinberg, Jean Kovner, Samuel Kovner, Edward Kovner, Anna Price. From Anna Lee Bloom, Andy Mock. From John Margolis, Matthew Margolis, Audrey Margolis Kaufman, Albert Kaufman. From the Ratner family, Nathan Ratner, Marion Ratner, Harry Elkin, Esther Elkin, Dennis Elkin, Deborah Elkin. From Cheryl Greenfield, Sydney and Elaine Greenfield, Eleanor and Samuel Greenfield, Helen and Robert Schwab, Rose Marshall, Edward and Sally Greenfield, George Henry, Jay Schwab, Marilyn Henry. From the Lunder family, Anne and Michael Lunder, Sophie and Jack Crane, Grace and Paul Wolper, Clara Bialik, Ira Bialik, Dorothy and Harold Alfond, Ava and Paul Marco, and Peter Alfond. From Nikki Levine and family, Stephen Levine, Aaron Levine, Michael Levine, Paul Fivy Levine, Mary Levine Owens. From Judy Hanson Childers, Weaver McGordon Ferguson, Iola Elizabeth Plowman Ferguson. From the Lovitz family, Gloria Lovitz and Bernard Lovitz. From Sandy Maisel and Patrice Franco. Sydney Beck Maisel, Ruth Spiro Maisel, Patricia Maisel Kotzen, Elizabeth Maisel Schulman, Theodore Schulman. from Mert Wallman and the Wallman family, Sidney Arnold, Bernard Krieger, Louis Wallman, Ida Wallman, Ava Arnovitz, William Arnovitz, Flora Arnold, Harriet Post, Harold Wallman, George Wallman, Abe Post, Amy Post, Gordon Wallman, Pearl Krieger, Samuel Levine, Sarah Wallman, Marcel Levine, Stuart Merle, Terry Fishbane, and Alan Wallman. From Sylvia Jadzak, Howard Rosenbaum. From Patty Cantor, Edwin Jules Cantor, Jules and Anita Kahn, Blossom Kahn. From Eve Tannenbaum, remembering Fred Tannenbaum. The Hutman family remembers Jean Mitchell. Tiffany Lopes and Emily Campbell remember Chana Bat Merrill, Caroline Campbell. Ariel Greenberg and the Greenberg Bywater family remembers Bernice Greenberg, Brindle Bat Moshe Tuvia Verifka. The Isaacs family remembers Gertrude Krauser, Herman Krauser, Mindel Carlin, Benjamin Carlin, Hilda Isaacs, and Julius Isaacs. Jen Yoder and Greg Bazakis remember Jess Yoder. The Leopold family remember Phila Leopold, Robert Leopold, Tova Bat Moshe Aryeh, Dov Zev ben Eliyahu Yisrael, Alexander Leopold, Eliyahu Yisrael ben Reuven, Lena Leopold, Chaya Leah Bat Shmuel Zalman, Cecile Leopold, Slava Bat Zev, Moses Lieb Banner, Moshe Aryeh ben Yaakov Koppel, Sala Banner, Sarah Bat Shmuel, Eric Pickholtz, Ezra ben Wolf-Bear, Anna Pickholtz, Chana Gittel Bat Moshe Aryeh, William Pickholtz, Wolf-Bear ben Ezra. Suzanne Jones and the Jones family remember Russell, Yaakov ben Shmuel. Barbara Leopold also remembers Doris Esther Haynes and John William Haynes. Patricia and William Rosenberg remember Miriam Bosek, Saul Bosek, Judith Bosek Engelberg, Susan Bosek Merrill, Violet Epstein, Rosalind Epstein, Milton Epstein, Anna Epstein, Barnett Epstein, Julius Epstein, Merrill Gromberg, S. Paul Krauss, Christine Krauss, Edith Rosenberg, Benson Rosenberg, Ida Rosenberg, Jacob Rosenberg, and Jean Rosenberg. Larry Goldsmith remembers Stan Goldsmith, Judy Gerda Goldsmith, Ludwig Rosenstein, and Helene Rosenstein. For all we say, Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We rise. We read privately pages 291, adding in the names of those in our family and friends that we want to remember today. On page 292, may God remember the souls of the martyrs of our people who gave their lives for the sanctification of God's name. In their memory do I pledge tzedakah. May their bravery, their dedication, and their purity be reflected in our lives. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life. May they rest in peace forever in God's presence. Amen. In memory of congregants, may God remember the souls of our friends, members of this holy congregation, who have gone to their eternal home. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life. May these moments of meditation strengthen the ties that link us to their memory. May they rest in peace forever in God's presence. Amen. Exalted, compassionate God, comfort the bereaved families of this congregation. Help us to perpetuate everything that was worthy in the lives of those no longer with us, whom we remember this day. May their memory endure as a blessing, and let us say, Amen. In the memory of the 6 million, exalted, compassionate God, grant perfect peace in your sheltering presence. among the holy and pure, whose radiance is like the heavens, to the souls of all the men, women, and children of the house of Israel who were slaughtered, strangled, and burned in the Shoah. May they rest in paradise. Master of mercy, may they find eternal shelter beneath your sheltering wings, and may their souls be bound up in the bond of life. Adonai is their portion. May they rest in peace. And let us say, Amen. We continue now on page 293 with El Maleh Rachamim and Psalm 23. El Maleh Rachamim shochen bamromim Hamsei menucha nechona tachat kanfei hashechina b'ma'alot kedoshim u'toharim kezohar harakim azhirim lenishmot kol ele shehizkarnu hayom livracha shahalchu l'olamam b'gan eden timenuchatam Ana bal harachamim Hastirem beseter kenafecha la'olamim Utzro bitro hachayim et nishmotehem Adonai hu nachalatam V'yanuchu v'shalom al mishkevotehem V'nomar Amen. Exalted, compassionate God, grant perfect peace in your sheltering presence among the holy and the pure, whose radiance is like the heavens, to the souls of those we have recalled today. May their memory be a blessing, and may they rest in paradise. Master of mercy, may they find eternal shelter beneath your sheltering wings, and may their souls be bound up in the bond of life. Adonai is their portion. May they rest in peace. And let us say, Amen. Mizmor leDavid, Adonai roi lo echzar, bino deshe yarbitzeni, al mei menuchot yanahaleni. Nafshi yeshovev, Nafshi yeshovev, Yancheni b'maglei tzedek, Leman shemo, Gam ki elech, Begeit salmavet, Lo irara, Ki ata imadi, Shivtecha umishantecha, Shivtecha umishantecha, Hema yanachamoni, Tarach lefanai shulchan, Tarach lefanai shulchan, Tarach lefanai shulchan, Neged zorerai, Dishanta v'shemen roshi, Dishanta v'shemen roshi, Dishanta v'shemen roshi, Kosi revaya, Achtov v'chesed, Yidefuni, Kol yemei chayai, V'shavti b'veit Adonai, V'shavti b'veit Adonai, Le'olam. Psalm of David, Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want. God gives me repose in green meadows and guides me over calm waters. God will revive my spirit and direct me on the right path, for that is God's way. Though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are at my side. Your staff and your rod comfort me. You prepare a banquet for me in the presence of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness shall be my portion all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai in the fullness of time. Though it is traditional to only say mourner's Kaddish with a minyan, in this extraordinary circumstance, I know that there are more than 10 of you with me now, and I ask that you join me in this prayer, rising in body or in spirit, to elevate the souls, the neshamot of those who we've mentioned today, to their eternal resting place, and to give their souls the comfort of knowing that they are remembered and cherished, and their legacies are being furthered by those who love them. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, Bialma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'gala u'vizman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela, le'ela, mikol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shamaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'marmav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'marmav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, v'imru, Amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom